So good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Bhavna, for the lovely introduction. Good afternoon, lovely panelists. There is a challenge with us, that is a post-lunch session, and I think with Arzan around, we have a challenge that we can send WhatsApp messages to all of you. So be very, very careful whether you're getting WhatsApp messages from Arzan also. So we've got a very high-powered panel over here, and let me start with the theme that we have got: personalization and hyper-personalization. In fact, post-pandemic, personalization and hyper-personalization has caught the fancy of customers also, because their expectations have gone up because of you guys, because you have been giving huge number of personalized services, right? So that is where the expectations have gone up, and of course the prices as well as the product parity is also gone up accordingly. In fact, they say that the crisis has made it even more critical. But very, very important aspect which was not there pre-pandemic was that the empathy and the connections earlier were a tick mark activity, but today post-pandemic it has become a little norm. It is given as a norm, and the NPS scores, of course, which we are targeting, they have gone up high and high and high, of course. So let me start with the question from Arzan. Arzan, that since you are taking care of WhatsApp technology as a platform, and I think nobody can survive WhatsApp in case somebody's WhatsApp is not working, the person's blood pressure goes up to 200, of course. And of course, it can go up higher also if the mobile goes in the hand of the wife. So, but as of now, WhatsApp, we're talking about WhatsApp. What is the vision of CX technology as a platform, of course? And of course, as conversational AI, how we can improve the customer experience?
Okay, thank you, and let me break up my response in two parts. So WhatsApp, as we all know, is a consumer brand. It's a consumer product, and in India, on a footprint of 1.3 billion people, there are 650 million users who are actively using WhatsApp. That's half of India's population, and slated to grow with broadband and mobile phone penetration. So at the end of the day, our vision is today the way you and I speak as consumers. How can a consumer speak very seamlessly to a business? So let me give you an example. Let's say if you're at home and let's say some appliance just goes faulty, you will scamper to find who do I call, where do I find the number. Even if you try and Google it, you'll find a number, you'll be in a queue trying to get in touch with a contact center agent for 10 minutes. So there is an option now where our partners, they can just create these IVR flows where if you press one, you can log a complaint through WhatsApp. In 30 seconds, you can finish your complaint, and you just enter your consumer number, and you can either book a gas or lodge a complaint, and that can be done at a fraction of a cost. So, and that is what is real customer experience, where every person in their common life, from the smallest of things that they do, like ordering a meal or booking a taxi, or let's say ordering groceries, any form of digitization which touches the life of a common man. If I can fulfill that journey in a very personalized way through a single platform, right from browsing a catalog to shopping to making a payment and even post-sales, after-sales service, then it is a very hyper-personalized experience where he won't even want to look anywhere else to be able to succeed with respect to his digitization. So I think that is where we are headed as a nation, and being one of the largest markets globally, I think we are only slated to grow from where we are currently.
Just a follow-up question. Which are the priority segments which WhatsApp is focusing on these days?
So, since it is a consumer brand, any business that is catering to a large segment of consumers, let's say banking or financial services, or any consumer product company like a Mondelez or a Hindustan Unilever, or let's say any large commerce brand like a Flipkart or a Meesho or a Nykaa, where you have a direct-to-consumer connect with hundreds of thousands of users, our focused segment. So, banking and financial services for sure, consumer products, and again, the biggest spender is government, because the number of use cases that you have across various departments and ministries in government is just not funny. Like you would have, experienced a municipal corporation app where you can download your COVID certificate. Going forward, you'll be able to do a lot more things in terms of downloading government documentation, FSSAI certificates, any forms, documentation. And people want to do this because every single person who has a smartphone by default has WhatsApp. He doesn't even have to look anywhere. He doesn't have to remember 30 apps that he has on his phone with his username and a password, which will again keep refreshing every 6 months. Nobody really wants to go through that hassle. Today we are doing pilots with companies like Swiggy and Uber, where you can book it over a WhatsApp. I mean, if I tell one of my parents to do it, they won't be able to do it using the app. But if I tell them you can do it on WhatsApp, you happily just touch a button and your journey is completed. That is the real value which you want to derive to a common person in every single thing that they do in their daily lives. I think that is the vision, and that is the real vision of fulfilling that dream through CX.
Great. Can I do a temperature check? How many of you are not having WhatsApp in your mobiles? Oh, okay, so of course you are a winner, of course. So that was a silly question. Primarily because I used to ask this question many times, that how many are not on Facebook or WhatsApp. But today WhatsApp, it's a daily thing. In fact, I like to add over here that, I personally use WhatsApp business account for Tata Sky, and within just few seconds I was able to activate an account and deactivate another account. So definitely I'm a user of that, and great. Thank you very much for sharing this. Now I move on to Shradha. Shradha, since you help WhatsApp, not WhatsApp, but you help businesses use WhatsApp kind of, activation. So how do you ensure that you are ensuring to sell with people, not sell to people, to the customers? How you ensure businesses that you are able to, they are able to sell with people, they take customers along, customers should not feel that I am being sold to.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
Cool. Thank you. So I'll take a step back and a small example when it comes to trust and authenticity. When it comes to selling, whether it is sell with or sell to. So whenever we visit a mall or any market, we will always see some hyper aggressive salesperson coming to I want to sell this. And what is usually our reaction? We just look around. We'll say no, we are just looking around. Why do we do that? We do that because we know that that person is trying to sell us something, and the reason behind this is we know, back of our minds that he's not thinking about our benefit. He is just wanting to sell us something. And I think that's the whole point, that when we understand what the customer needs are, and when we know with hyper-personalization, we have so much data, we know that, this is what the customer needs, and, this is precisely what the want is. We can always personalize the data, make it more relevant for customers. And then, for the same example, if had it been that, that customer, the salesperson would have come to me saying that, ma'am, you're checking out this particular product. Let's say I was checking a jar, the handle is not good in this brand. Let me take you to some other brand where, it's great quality. Instantly, I will ask him, I want to buy this, what's your recommendation? So it's in sales, I think when we are selling, it's all about building trust. We do not have to sell a product there. Once we establish trust, once we build that trust with the customer, I think we are in a good space, and the customer will definitely buy from us. So that's the point.
What are the specific steps an organization should take in order to build trust? There are some things which, when we are designing a particular business solution, it's very, very essential. Normally the focus is, I along with my team, of course, we keep on finding out multiple touch points so that we are able to provide the service to the customers. Many times what happens is we believe in delivering service, but CX is many times lost.
Definitely. That's the whole point, that, when we are trying to sell, we are just trying to sell our products. Like, look, we have these features, look, we have this. All we have to do is we have to sit on the, think about the other person, the person on the other side of the table, and visualize, like, if let's suppose he takes a product, and in the long run these are the challenges he may face, and we should anticipate the challenges or help him out in achieving his KRAs, maybe his KPIs, that he's wanting to achieve this in the long run. Once we think from the other side of the table, I think we are in a good position, and I think that's the way to go, rather than just telling that we have this feature, that feature. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely right. In fact, the way Ken Blanchard said that you should work with people, not work to people. So similarly, sell with people, not sell to people. That is something which will be the mantra. Thank you very much, Shradha, for this.
Thank you.
Now let me go to a gentleman who is who has one wonderful name called Kissht. Kissht, of course, in Hindi it is there.
Thank you.
They have very innovative way of giving loans to the consumers directly. So as I was talking about, what difference have you seen pre-pandemic and post-pandemic with respect to customer expectations, and how you are ensuring the personalization of the CX kind of thing?
Okay. So, Rishi, we have observed that Kissht started as a digital lender at the first place. So, since 2016, we have been in the digital space. And when the pandemic hit us, it was not much new for us because we were already digital. But we did see that customers who were previously preferring offline channels, like going to a branch and availing a loan, going to a franchisee, or going to a retail store for buying a consumer durable item and availing it an EMI on it, even these customers started asking for online options. They wanted to buy products online and pay for it using EMI rather than walking into a shop. So this has been an eye opener for us, which has made us invest more into online channels and less into offline now. And with respect to customer behavior, I would say we have seen customers also opting for chat more compared to calls and emails. To quote the numbers, I would say previously the chatbot accounted for around 20% of the conversations, and now the chatbot accounts around 65% of the conversations on a daily basis. So of course there is a contribution to what the team is doing because they keep improving the chatbot, but customers' preference towards going for quick solutions like chatbots and voice bots is increasing rather than compared to speaking to a human agent, unless it's a very huge escalation.
Okay, that's interesting that many customers are preferring the chatbot kind of aspect.
Yes.
So, I mean, if I have to, since you're sitting next to Arzan, I will just create some kind of discussion between you. So, with WhatsApp also you can create a lot of interaction with the customers. With bot also you can create a lot of, which is better?
So, yeah, I would ask Arzan to take it.
So, see, WhatsApp is a platform. It will enable multiple businesses to create customer journeys, to drive an outcome. So, the solution provider typically creates a bot that is nothing but, creating a journey of how they would like a customer experience to navigate, depending on whether he's looking at transacting or whether he's browsing or whether he wants to raise a support ticket or whether he wants to buy a certain plan of Tata Sky. So the chatbot is a solution that is created by a solution provider. Like, we have a lot of them with booths outside. They are the experts in terms of building these journeys through machine learning and AI using chatbots. And these chatbots sit on a platform like WhatsApp. So we open up our APIs and then they are able to build a journey, using our services natively.
Okay.
So they both complement each other. They're not exclusive.
And to add to it, I would say that the difference between a chatbot and a WhatsApp has been that bot usually is inside the app. For example, we have the Kissht app. There is a chatbot inside. People can come and ask their queries. Now there is also a bot inside WhatsApp. We have our own WhatsApp number wherein the bot also functions. So both the bots are working in the same way. The only difference is if a customer doesn't want to use the app, he is already talking to his friends on WhatsApp. He can directly go to the Kissht number on WhatsApp and he can start doing the chat rather than opening the app and then going to the chatbot. So WhatsApp is playing an important role because people are already present in the channel. They don't have to switch to a different app to speak to us. And when it comes to bot, I think there are three important things that we as companies need to take care of. One is empathy when dealing with customers, because that is the base of every customer service resolution. So when it comes to chatbot, the empathy is seen on how well the bot is able to transfer these queries to the human agent. So if the bot is not able to transfer a query quickly to the human agent when the customer is not able to get a resolution, then the bot would fail. So it's necessary that timely transfer to human agent is done. Second, there is a hybrid model that is necessary, which many companies are offering. In coordination with WhatsApp, I have seen that if an agent is not able to answer quickly to a customer's query, the bot suggests him some quick responses which he can give. So here the bot is helping the agent to give quick response to the customer. Similarly, if the bot is not able to handle a query, the bot asks the agent to pitch in and give the necessary answers, and then the bot can continue from there. So this is a hybrid model wherein chatbot and the agent are working together rather than working in silos. That first chatbot will answer, then human agent will answer.
So there is a synergistic effect kind of thing, synchronization.
Correct, correct.
But many times I've seen from experience that many times the in-app chatbot, it freezes. So they don't like to work too much accordingly. So let me come back to now Shweta. Shweta, in Tata CLiQ, great products on Tata CLiQ, of course. So how do you ensure that you target your customers and of course you ensure building trust? And I mean, there are so many products on Tata CLiQ. How do you ensure that the specific targeted customer is buying from your platform only based on the trust of Tata's which is there?
Thanks for asking this question. We get that a lot. Since we are part of Tata Group, I think we inherit Tata Trust, and that works in our favor most of the time. But I will, to answer your question, let me just tell everyone one story about trust. Trust is nothing, it's like understanding human behavior, right? I have one friend who is also a researcher, and she has been researching on consumer behavior for a long time. And she did one survey where she just gave this photograph of a woman who is sitting on a chair smiling, and she's wearing a decent clothes and just smiling, and she asked just one question from all the users saying that, would you trust her, or did you trust her, do you trust her? That kind of question, just one question. And she got positive responses for 90% plus people who reviewed that photograph. And people, some of them just said that, oh, she looks like my sister. Somebody said, oh, she resembles my grandmother. Point is that people trust what they see, right? In that research, it came out that since the woman was smiling, wearing decent clothes, she was sitting elegantly, people would trust her. But actually, she was a serial killer, and she was in prison for a long time. So the trust is underrated and overrated both, right? And what you need to do is people trust when they have one-on-one interaction. Just a snapshot of it. What brands need to do is to build on it, right? And tap that first interaction and then keep building the trust on it. So from Tata CLiQ perspective, since you're asking what you do, since Tata Trust is there, but we do a lot of data mining. So since we're talking about AI, conversational AI and bots, etc., lot of data is already sitting, right? And some of the companies that are here, they would know that we can actually review, do slicing and dicing and know customer behavior, customer history, who is coming, who is asking what kind of questions, customer who like to contact and clarify the doubts, customer who doesn't like to contact and wants to find the answers on their own. All of that is available, right? So over a period of time, and this is my suggestion, this is working for our organization, what we have done is we have created customer personas. So from our analytics, we understand what kind of customer it is. So we've defined this customer is somebody who is e-commerce expert, has been there, probably placing a lot of orders every month, and knows nuances of e-commerce. This customer does not need that much of help, and versus the other customer who is new to e-commerce and probably new to Tata CLiQ and trying to figure out if this company is trustworthy or not. So we do persona mapping. We've created those customer personas basis shopping behavior, and then we try to from a customer journey of these personas, we try to see that how are they behaving. We tap that opportunity and do some proactive efforts to build their trust. So before they land into any problem, lot of it is predictive and preempt. And when we reach there and we help them, when even they were not expecting, I think the trust is built. So that's how we at Tata CLiQ is managing it.
That's great. And I asked the same question. Have you seen any change in your customers' expectation post-pandemic?
Absolutely. So for us, being in e-commerce industry, we saw when a lot of businesses was going down, we saw a surge, right? And the advantage was that a lot of people came to us because there was no other option. And that led to a lot of consumer behavior, right? For example, my parents who were not very they were not willing to do digital payments. Now they are okay doing digital payments, right? Because there were no other option and they had to do it. So they started doing it. Consumer behavior has changed a lot, and we saw prepaid customers preferring prepaid mode a lot than cash on delivery. Earlier it was like opposite. Now the ratio is totally changed. People do prepaid and they know that they're digital savvy. So a lot of consumer behavior has changed due to pandemic. Mostly people moving comfortably towards digital rather than, earlier they had a lot of apprehensions. That apprehension is gone now.
Okay, that's great. That definitely apprehension is gone because there is no alternative as of now during the pandemic time. So of course, has Tata CLiQ compared to the peers, the sales have gone up post pandemic, or is it same, or what it is?
It has definitely gone up. Yeah. So, and I was sharing this with Kumud, I think, and Shradha also during break, that we have built a very different business. We don't compete with Amazon and Flipkarts of the world because there's no point, right? They are already there for a long time. They have cracked it. They have figured it out. They do fastest delivery. They have selection, variety. So what we will do it, we have built a business where we are customer and brand obsessed. We have all the curated collection, and seller onboarding process is very stringent. We only onboard brands who has authorized sellers, and they promise a good post-purchase experience. So we have a balanced approach toward customer experience and business. So that's how. But we've definitely got the advantage of pandemic and higher market share.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shweta, for giving us in-depth or details about
My
it.
pleasure. Thanks.
Now we come to the very important vertical or stream where the trust and perception makes a lot of difference. And vitamin M is very crucial for everyone. So people invest their vitamin M's in those trustworthy organizations only where they trust. And I think Motilal is one of the organizations which has built their brand over years. So there is, going to the digitization, there's been rise in predictive analytics and of course the impact on data-driven customer experience. How do you use these two parameters, predictive analytics and data-driven data, to increase the customer experience and enhance the business in process?
So thank you, Rishi ji, for putting up this question, and I think most of the answers have been discussed with my co-panelist, but at the same time, yes, I mean predictive analysis. What is predictive analysis? So who can tell me, who has been our predictor at our home at our very early age? So the answer is very simple. I mean, our mothers, right? They knew us, they knew our behaviors, and they knew where can we get the toffees in the kitchen, and she would ensure that it's kept at the right place, right? Yes or no?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So linking it to the corporate vision of what is predictive analysis is definitely since we all are talking about pandemic. Pandemic is what I always say is the mother of invention. Okay, that is because the way we have seen, the way regulators have seen digitalization, I don't think it was pre-pandemic. So that is something we should be thankful for. Yeah, now coming to the numbers or the stats, yes, today we all know when we get up in the morning, we always go to the WhatsApp first, right? So we as companies need to know where our customers are. Rather than customers coming to us, it's now the other way around, right? So we have to predict the behavior, what the customer will be having, and take our products and services to them rather than they coming to us. So that is the precise reason predictive analysis is on a rise today. And I don't find any other reason for me as well using, online shopping for more than ever. And we would love to do that, right? Now, linking it to the financial services, yes, people are investing money. Pandemic was one where we had highest number of acquisition due to online, portal being tech savvy, that we are opening accounts within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? So, which was not possible earlier. Not possible in the sense there were regulatory challenges earlier, which regulators themselves, they realized and they made it easier for the consumers. So I think that gave an edge to us. Today, if a common man or a woman would like to apply for an IPO, it's just a 3-click for you, right? Earlier, we have to fill the form, we have to go to the bank branch, we have to apply, give a cancelled check, and then the IPO will be applied. Now it's just a 3-click of a button. So it's all about, how the behaviors have changed for the consumers in last 2 years, I would say, and how we are taking ourselves to them. So this is what I would say, that is what predictive analysis is all about. Now, why it is important is, number one, I would say, yes, personalization we talk about, right? Personalization and hyper-personalization was the topic we, started with today. So that is one thing we should know. If somebody, if I am using a Netflix account, and if Netflix is showing me what are my favorite movies without even, scrolling the button, I would love it, right? So it's the kind of feel that I am offering to my customer. So that is number one, personalization. Number two, yes, every business wants to grow. The end result is profit, and that is the precise reason, we want the customers to be retained with us. So by recommending, new products to them, or the other cross-function, sell, upsell to them, it's easier for us to retain and increase the average revenue per customer. So basically, this is the second thing. Third thing, what I said was, which Shweta also mentioned, the kind of servicing that you would like to have, so the setup, the operational efficiency. If you know your consumer behavior, if you know their persona well, you predict them well, we have the data and we know what kind of servicing the customer wants. Say suppose somebody is trading in cash segment, if I show them what are the top 5 best pick, of those A group or B group scripts which he has been trading for last 1 year, I'll be happy. Because I don't have to go to the research company to give me all this, right? Free of cost. So obviously, I mean, these are the things which, customers are loving. So it's a kind of experience, I would say, how you make a customer feel on your platform is where your business will go in, in times to come. So Rishi, I think.
Thank you so much, Kumud.
Yeah, thank
of course, you have given a lot of examples here that how we can give good customer experience to our customer, particularly financial point of view. So I have one final question. I can see Bhavna pointing at me. So each one of us, if whoever is there, can give us one example. This is a very important question, Somebody was asking me over lunch, what is difference between personalization and hyper-personalization? So, okay. So maybe if each one of you can give me 30 seconds example difference, if possible.
Maybe we'll start this way. So the best example of hyper-personalization is, first of all, hyper-personalization is, when we're trying to target with all the data that we've collected from different channels using AI, chatbots, we study the behavior of the customer, so hence we have all the data. And the best example which Kumud quoted was, the Netflixes and Amazons of the world, how they precisely know what we want or what we are going to want. I think that's the best example of this. And, I love the points that Kumud and Shweta mentioned. It's about, convenience during pandemic. We've seen companies like scaling up, doing more business because, we've made communication more convenient. And that's where, we as a provider, we've seen WhatsApp really grow because, people found it really convenient. And WhatsApp is a very personal channel, we might be sleeping, and first thing we see, like Azan mentioned, something broke down. We will not open our laptop, open any website. We will, best way, if we can do it over WhatsApp, that's the best thing that can happen.
Thank you. In fact, WhatsApp is such कि सोने से पहले WhatsApp देखते हैं, सुबह उठ के पूजा WhatsApp की करते हैं हम लोग. अर्जान ये ठीक नहीं है असल में.
So according to me, if you just go back to the same example which I spoke of earlier, Shradha just mentioned, let's say a Philips microwave is broken in your house, you'll scamper to find a phone number, help desk. Assuming the organization has implemented press 1 to log your complaint on WhatsApp, you have a good personalized experience where within 30 seconds, you know that your problem is solved. A ticket has been raised, somebody will call you to fix your problem. If I have to benchmark the same discussion in a hyper-personalized example, you will soon see a situation not very far from where we are now, where if I have to go and talk to Philips as a brand, I just have to open my WhatsApp and I type Philips and the number will appear through native discovery and directory services. I don't even have to store the number. So today, let's say if I have to engage with Tata CLiQ, I have to find what is the WhatsApp WABA number, enter it, and then type a hi for the journey to start. I won't even have to do that. So that is really hyper personalized. I mean, the way I'm talking to you as a friend or a professional, I'm actually be able to talk to a business who's already there, and that, according to me, is something very powerful, which will make a difference in every consumer's lives.
Great. In fact, good example. In fact, on a lighter side, my hyper personalized example will be I'm eating dal and I'm tasting chicken. Yes, Suraj.
So I would say when it comes to lending at our end, personalized, previously it was more into customer based, customer profile based, that customer has a good credit score and based on his credit score I would give him a particular product or I would reject a particular loan. And now when it comes to hyper personalized, it's more into a location based approach, wherein based on the customer's location, where he is approaching from, based on the situation that is in, or based on the event of the day, we show him the kind of offers that he can avail on different websites. For example, if we have observed that he has been a user of Flipkart or he has been searching for Flipkart related products on our app, then we show him the relevant Flipkart offers for buy now pay later. And similarly, if he has been buying sports related goods, then we will show him accordingly EMI offers on these goods. So it has been more into interest based and location based offers.
Great. So for the lovely ladies, last I will change the question because they were talking about hyper personalization. I change the rules is that do you think hyper personalization is getting into the privacy of the consumers also?
Sorry?
Privacy of the consumers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, today it has become like a neural network wherein I think and I get the product, and obviously it is getting into privacy. And in terms of financial products, yes, we need to understand that our privacy is also very, very important, and hence hyper personalization is somewhere to be.
So bot is going to tell me what I can eat, what I cannot eat.
I will say I agree with Kumud to a certain extent, but you can still do it behind the scenes. For example, we do it for so we have two line of businesses, mall and luxury. For the luxury niche customers, high-end customers who are our regular customers and have been giving us a lot of business, we do, and through WhatsApp only we do this, and we have done integration with WhatsApp, where we monitor the customer journey of these customers, and we know their taste, their behaviors and what they like, and we keep on pitching silently behind the scenes, those options for them. And if they like, they would pick up. If they don't like, they will leave it. So that's how we are doing it behind the scenes for our luxury customers. So still hyper personalization can be done silently through technology. If it is done in a manner where it is not, you're not getting into a personal space of customer.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, all of you, for the lovely comments you have shared and your insights. I think one thing is sure, that personalization and hyper personalization, this march will go on, and of course the objective is to give personalized connection and have empathy for the customers rather than intrude into their personal lives. So these are some of the things. There are a lot to be discussed on personalization. For example, there is a physical or digital personalization and modes and steps of personalization. But maybe we'll do it some other time because Bhavna is giving me piercing looks. So thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much, Rishi.
So ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a huge, huge round of applause. What a fantastic panel this has turned out to be.